that's what. Have you ever booked a trip to another country, research a ton, so you're scrolling through IG and TikTok, or watching all sorts of where to go in X, or best places to go, must visit spots. But once you get to your destination, that plan just kind of gets thrown to a corner and you only do like about a quarter of what you initially planned. You feel guilty and FOMO from all the other people's videos because now your algorithm knows that you're there in that location. So spoiler alert, that's how my recent Korea trip made me feel like. I literally just got my KETA approved, and now I had to get my finally got my boarding pass. So basically I came to the airport and then it was like 8, and because I needed to meet my mom earlier, and then suddenly I realized I didn't apply for my KETA, which is so dumb because I should have checked, and I don't know why I didn't. But anyways, I applied it 8:30, I think, because there's a lag in the system. And then only now at 9:30, an hour later, that I only got my ETA approved. Before that, I couldn't get my boarding pass at all. So that was really, really nerve-wracking. But I wouldn't be able to go to Korea anymore, which is crazy. I was like, the amount of money burned just because of one careless mistake. Anyways, I'm so glad I finally got my boarding pass. And yeah. So this video is actually inspired by Cozy K's recent video about unlearning the pressure of finishing everything, which I deeply resonated with as someone who also picks up a ton of different hobbies but really struggles to finish them or just even doing it long term. She goes on about the different types of guilt and shame that we feel with hobbies and what is the true purpose of a hobby. And in that sense, I feel like this really relates to this video as well, because for me traveling is a hobby, and like what is the main purpose of us traveling? You know, all of us have our own reasons. It could be for work, for leisure, but I think what everyone wants at the end of the day when we're traveling, and what most people do, is that we just want to relax. It's our downtime. We want to just enjoy ourselves. And like with most things, everyone has their own personal experience when it comes to what they enjoy, and that's completely normal. Like that's up to you. How do you feel? Whether you like something, whether you don't. You know, all these other people, just because they say something is great doesn't mean you necessarily have to feel that way. And as someone who has been also making some travel videos in the past, and there's some people who definitely have an opinion about me comparing other places to where I am. Sometimes I just can't help myself. It makes me appreciate other things more, or where I am, and have a different perspective of what I'm looking at. But that's just like my own personal experience with how I interact with things. But of course, it does remind me that like, okay, maybe I should not be thinking too much about how other people feel or how other places are like, and just stay in the moment. And how does this experience at the moment make me feel now? So for some context, initially this trip was for a leisure trip with me and my family. We had a really long holiday. Once I had booked my trip, somehow in the end I ended up having to do some work meetings, which was completely fine. I said yes willingly, so it's not that. But of course, with that being said, it does change a bit of the initial plans of where we wanted to go or where we chose to explore onwards. And in the end, we ended up staying mostly in one location, which was near our hotel. Honestly, I had a really good time, but I couldn't help myself but feel really, really guilty. And when I asked other people who were also there what they did, and they mentioned all sorts of different locations where I'm like, oh, I wish I had gone there, or I wish I could just have seen, you know, I don't know. But at the same time, that doesn't take away my experience of how I felt during my trip. I still really enjoyed myself. I did a lot of things for what I could in my situation. Again, like, why do we feel shame? So one of it could be we're feeling a lot of shame because it's like a waste of money, because we're not exploring every single nook and cranny of this country, of this location. We're not like doing day trip on day trip on day trip. And you know, some people love it, you know, but some people don't.
Another interesting from Cozy K's video is that she mentioned that we release dopamine, which is what gives us that happy feeling the most when we're anticipating the trip. So it's really that build-up of when we're planning that we feel the high.
And just to say that, like, because you didn't do your initial itinerary, then that doesn't mean like your holiday itself was a failure. Like, as long as what I believe is that as long as you had fun, then it's a success. And if there's more that you've done, there's other activities that you didn't get to do, then that's just things that you can do for next time. And you can just come again, you know, whether it be like in a couple of years or so, what can be done about what already happened, right? And I feel that this ties in also maybe of why we feel shame is that right now there's so many videos and travel vlogs like that. And I know I am also a contributor to some of the travel vlogs out there in the world things, and especially in those like TikToks where I'm just like overwhelmed. They're like high stimulus of like, okay, go here, go there, and they're like shouting, they're screaming, and they're having fun, and you look at them and you're like, oh my gosh, would I have that much fun if I had gone to those places? But at the same time, it's like there's a few times where I gone to those exact same places as those videos and I'm not reacting the way that those people are reacting, and you know, at the end of the day, that's because my personality is also different. But of course, like even though I'm enjoying myself, maybe I don't react the same way. It's fine. But yeah, I feel like sometimes we just get a bit FOMO, and not gonna lie, I get FOMO a lot as well. Really,
But when I really think about it and ask myself, is this something I actually really want to do? Or am I being influenced by someone else's opinion that this is a must-see and I feel like I'm just missing out if I don't? If your opinion is not a hell yeah to do that thing, I think you should just give yourself some grace if you end up not doing that activity.
Oh my god, the outside is so cocoa-y. That's bitter. But the inside is so good that it makes up for it.
That's why I told you it's hard to describe how you feel about it.
And look! Yeah, our skincare. We just did shopping around our hotel. Wow!
You know what? Already finished shopping. No more shopping for the rest of the week.
Beauty of Joseon, the matte stick, neck mask, 5 cleanser of, what is this? Angel Professional Cleanser. Everybody got cleanser. Expensive serum. Good for whitening, anti-aging, all your acne, dark spot, whatever. They make you young. Use serum. Oh, some more things with that brand. Oh, Ampule, I think. Or serum to go with it. We got some free face masks because we bought so many things for our trip. 3 each. This one is the continuation of this series basically. Together you get the whole like moisturizer cream. All sample size. And we went back the second time for the sunblock. We got more. Woo! And then we got, don't forget,
The traveling pack.
traveling pack 3. 1 for each as well. This one nice, at least got everything inside. Got toner, emulsion, moisturizer, and cleanser. Yay! Nice.
Another reason that we could probably feel a little guilt is that maybe we feel like we're lazy, we're not disciplined, we're inconsistent with our time because we're not even able to follow a simple schedule of a plan that we had set beforehand for a trip. This is not true at all. When you come to planning a trip, you never really know what's going to happen on the actual day. There's so many things that could happen, especially when you're traveling as a group. If you're traveling with older people, for example, you need to take into consideration about like how easily tired they get. There's also like this type A and type B kind of travelers, right? And that's to say, like, to each their own. Again, I'm not saying that people who do follow a schedule are not enjoying their time, but I'm saying that like if you don't do such a thing, then it's completely okay and completely normal. You don't have to feel ashamed because everyone really leisurely goes at their own pace. Some just a little faster than others. If you already had something pre-booked, like a train ticket, then of course you should like maybe make a more bigger effort to try to catch that train so that you're not wasting the money that you had spent on there. But if it's like a general itinerary for a day, then I feel like there's no set reason of like why you must go to a certain location. No one's forcing you. Again, just because you see it on the internet doesn't mean you have to do it. And I think that's why we get caught up about like all these like eye-catching titles. You must go to this area. Don't go to this touristy spots, go to this underrated area. You're wasting your time if you go here. Instead, go here. Okay, really it does not matter. I think as long as you're able to put yourself in the present, do something that you like, your day is filled with things that you enjoy, you're feeling relaxed, you're having a nice cool down like you had intended, then I'd call it a win.
Well, all in all, at the end of the day, this is your trip. You have free will to do whatever you want. If you plan to do something but changed your mind, that's fine. It's your free will. And with that being said, happy traveling, travelers!